All right, I want to take a minute to talk about AR barrels and gas systems. And I want to give you all a rundown of what I'm talking about and why I'm saying it. And we got to keep through this whole conversation is where is the pressure and what does it do? So for you guys that don't know how an AR-15 works or never given any thought, how it works is that the bullet is fired in the case and it goes down the barrel and it goes out, and once it gets to here, our gas block journal, we drill a hole. And that pressure goes out of that hole through our gas port hole in our gas block, down the gas tube, into our gas key, against our gas seals. Them seals hold the pressure. The bolt is pushed back by the gas going down the tube, and then once it unlocks, the bolt goes back, then goes forward. This closes, and voila, we start it all over again. So where's the pressure and what does it do? Okay, so now we know where the pressure comes from and how it all works. So the first thing I want to say is this is nothing more than an adjustable gas block, but it can be a band-aid for things. And the reason I say it's a band-aid is if we have a particular load that we're going to shoot out of a rifle, we could drill a hole small and then just slowly increase its size until we shoot around, it pushes the bolt back and locks itself with one round against the bolt catch. Okay. The reason we use adjustable gas blocks on a lot of rifles isn't for suppressors, it isn't for all this other stuff. It's so we can vary the amount of gas going to the gas key to unlock the bolt and make it cycle. Why do we need to do that? One is, for instance, on a 22 caliber rifle, we could shoot a 40 grain bullet all the way up to a 90 grain bullet. All out of the same rifle if it had a 1-in-7 twist, right? So a 40 grain bullet goes really, really fast, okay? So pressure, what is it doing? It leaves the barrel really fast, okay? A 90 grain bullet goes real slow. It stays in the barrel a long time. So we need a smaller gas port to make it all work. So what does the pressure do and where does it go? So really skinny, lightweight bullet, you need a larger gas port because it leaves real quick. Big, heavy bullet, you need a smaller gas port because that gas is trapped in the barrel longer, okay? So most people are sending out 22 arcs, 6 arcs, 22 GTs, 6 Creedmoors and the bigger things, 22 Creedmoors and the bigger calibers with the rifle length gas system, or maybe a +1. Well, when we do that, we're holding all that pressure in the barrel. And when you hold that pressure in the barrel, all that pressure is holding the case against the back of the bolt, okay? So we need to get that pressure released quicker. So how do we do that? Some guys say, well, we'll put a bigger buffer in it. That helps part of the problem. That's just holding the bolt closed or putting more force against it. But the best way to alleviate that pressure is to move the gas port further down the barrel, okay? So I'm a big advocate of +3 gas systems on everything. I don't want more than 3 inches, okay, of barrel in front of the gas port. And especially on these small calibers like the 22s, the 20s, and the 6mm. Because remember, where's pressure and where does it go? Well, a 30 cal bullet hole is this big and a 22 caliber bullet hole is real tiny. So that pressure gets released quicker. The smaller the diameter of the bullet, the less volume going down the chamber. We're still dealing with the same amount of pressure, the 60,000 PSI or whatever, but the bigger the diameter of the bullet, the more places that pressure can go. So 3 inches at most is all I want at the end of the barrel. If we need more gas, to make the system function. We just add a bigger hole, okay? Now all that's fun and dandy until we take this guy and we screw it on the barrel, right? Where's the pressure? Where does it go? What does it do? So a suppressor is nothing more than an accumulator, right? It accumulates all the gas and then slowly releases it. Well, when you're using this type of suppressor and we accumulate all that gas and we hold on to it and slowly release it, all that pressure is being held in the suppressor, in the bore, and in our chamber, okay? So what's happening when we screw on a suppressor is all that pressure is trapped in the bore, and the poor gas key and bolt are trying to open the round. It's trying to extract it. So if you guys are planning on shooting suppressed, I can't stress enough to use a gas system as long as you can, almost to the suppressor. I know that sounds silly, but it'll run a lot cleaner. It'll be easier on your brass, and you won't have all them issues that you hear about that you come across when you're running like a rifle length or a +1. Obviously, when you're running a suppressor, readjust your gas system so it's completely shut off and then slowly open it until it locks back. Another thing people think, or a common misconception of rifles getting dirty, they're like, well, I got an adjustable gas block, all that gas, and my rifle's still getting dirty. Everybody thinks the dirt and debris and carbon is coming from the gas port through the poor little tube. No. What's happening and why your rounds are getting all dirty is, remember, this accumulator and our barrel, right, are holding all the pressure. This bolt is extracting the case, and all that gas and carbon is caught in the barrel and the chamber area. And as soon as this ejects, that breaks the seal. Hydraulics and pneumatics, it all wants to stabilize. It goes equal and undiminished in all directions. We're holding onto it up here. We let a hole out here, just like poking a tire. All that carbon and gunk comes down and it dirties up our rifle. So one way you can fix it is a bigger hole in the back of your can. This is a 338 suppressor. I run it on a 22 caliber rifle. It does run cleaner, but the correct way to solve it would be to use one of these flow through suppressors with no back pressure. The reason they say flow through or no back pressure, because that pressure doesn't go back into the chamber, it goes forward. So check out the Huxworks or the OSS style suppressors or something where it can get rid of that pressure. So bottom line, use a gas system as far out as possible. If we need to make the system work, we can add more gas to get it to work. And then if we're using a suppressor, use a flow-through design or one with the larger port. Even the larger opening is a Band-Aid, but that'll help everything run clear. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, I know this is kind of off the cuff. I'm kind of blabbering a little bit. Post them below. As always, thanks for the business. God bless.